Yeah, California knows how to party.
Hey now.
Good morning. Oh, good morning. Sleepy pants, wake up. Wake up, stretch, yawn, crack the bones.
So your bit totally would have gotten me.
The bit Kyle is talking about.
Go ahead.
Kyle called me this morning because I was... I
just hadn't seen you yet.
You just hadn't seen me. I was, today's getaway day for me, so I was doing a few things. I had not made my way into the studio.
Right.
yet.
When I come in, so the process, I come in, I don't really leave the studio until after the show.
Yeah.
So I hadn't been downstairs. I hadn't seen Dave.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Right. And he called me, and really, I was doing something else, or I would have thought better of it, because I tried to do a bit, but it was really a failed bit, really a poor effort by me. He called me, and I was like, yep, nope, we're about to ship out. You guys all ready to go? You and Damien, you good? What's up? Why are you calling me this early? Hoping, Kyle would be like, dude, I thought that started tomorrow. We're on in a few minutes. What I should have done first off is when you called. That had I been thinking of this, had you called, ring, 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 I should have been like this. Huh? What do you want, dude? Like acted sleepy. And then just gone through with the whole thing and just played it out. But then the problem, too, though, here, let me tell you the problem with you, Kyle. I don't know if you know this or not, because I know you have a really good sense of humor.
Right.
You do. But one thing that I think people don't completely know about you, though, is that you also have a little bit, and I have it, too, so this isn't condescending, or I'm not insulting you. I have it, too. You have a little bit of nerd rage in you. So I can only go so far with my bits. So like this morning, I could have just kept going and going and going, but I feel like had I gotten to the point where I did convince you, and then I showed up here, you would have still been mad because you would have been so freaked out.
No, because what would have happened is if you. So here's the reason I didn't bite on your bit. I didn't bite on your. The reason I didn't bite on your bit is A, because you said you were already at port or whatever you said, whatever boat term you used.
Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the video screen right now.
Uh-huh.
And it says Kyle's Cold Hard Facts, and I was about to break in and be like, why is this Kyle's Cold Hard Facts? And then I noticed that you and I are wearing completely different outfits, and it's a clip from another day, and I just hit the play button, and that really freaked me out. And I apologize.
Not a bit. I'm proud of you, man.
Go ahead.
So you said you were getting ready to board. I don't know a lot about cruises, but I know that leaving at like 6 a.m. is probably not a thing that happens.
No.
The other thing is I know that you are so like psychotic and afraid of something going wrong on your behalf.
Yep.
That you would never let something happen where people had their days mixed up on who's hosting what show.
Great point right there. That is
your nightmare.
I would be near tears.
I know. And that's how so like tomorrow, you're for sure going to bring up on the show today. Tomorrow, Damien and Jason are going to be in. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about it after the show. I might hear something from you about it later.
Oh, you're going to get phone calls from me too. You're going to get a check-in tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
I'll be scrolling through the text line, hate reading everything, replying to people. Damien's going to be, if he's on the text line, he's going to notice replies from the station, not realize where they're coming from. Just, it's me. Which I really won't do because that's rude to him. When you're filling in, that's your audience, and
I got your back, dog.
I got to let it go.
Just leave Dave alone.
Damien, Jason, Chris Verlaud, Cody, they'll all be in here tomorrow, as we told you yesterday. Tomorrow through the rest of next week. Getaway day. I'm leaving. You know what? I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm a little nervous.
I have a question. Did you say Chris and Cody are going to be in here too?
Oh, I'm sorry. Chris won't be here, huh? You'll be here. That's stupid. But I believe Cody will be coming in. I don't know. I don't think she'll be coming in for all 3 hours, but she'll be coming in at least, I think, for a segment in the 8 o'clock hour. But I don't know. Somehow we continue to have 2 people, and every other show on the station has 50. And by the way,
we need to go poach Cody from from KNCI,
Tom show,
from our sister station.
Let me say something though. I don't consider Eunice a part of the show per se when I'm counting roster, because Eunice doesn't come on air. Now, she's certainly a part of the show, and I love her to death. She's literally the most talented person on the program, and I say that all the time.
By like a wide margin.
But I can't count her in the roster of show participants because there's no mic cracking there. I'm talking about on-air people that are participating in that facet. She does our wonderful video cast brought to you by Jiffy Lube in the Sacramento Republic, which you can check at KHTK.com. I'm a little worried, Kyle, because this is the strongest winter storm we've had all year. It came through last night with wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour in the Central Valley. And it's going to continue to be stormy on and off throughout the California coast. I'm going to be on a boat going from San Francisco.
Oh, that's brutal.
To southern Mexico starting tonight. We will have a full 3 days at sea starting at 4 p.m. today. And you go, 10, 20, 30. You got to get into international waters, right? When you leave on the boat, it goes straight out. The first thing they do, they go straight away from the shore. Why? So they can get in international waters. Why? So they can open the casino. They can start selling all the duty-free products. That's when the ship starts making money.
I hope all the products are duty-free. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, let me tell you, dude. There's some.
I hope I never buy anything
you want any
with
duty
on it.
That's how they make their money, buddy.
Unless it's manure. I suppose if you're buying manure that
duty-free manure
duty.
would be counterproductive. So
it's just dirt.
You go out, and that's when you buy all your stuff. And that's how they make their money, dude. They make all their money when you're stuck on the boat. Everyone's super excited to be on there. It's the start of the trip. It's also the only time I ever gamble on a cruise ship is on the way out. And I could be wrong about this. This might just be a fairy tale, but I've read many things that say on a boat, they loosen everything up in the casino on the way down. So, hey, I'm winning. This is great. I'm up. All right, awesome. I'm going to spend more money on the ship because I won money.
Right.
And then on the way back, when they know you're leaving them, and I've experienced this myself before.
They turn it from a yes to a casino.
Yeah, so
That's a good joke.
I'm a little worried about, are there going to be high seas? And I'm not talking about the drink. Are there going to be, is it going to be like perfect storm type of stuff? Are there going to be giant waves crashing over the thing?
Is there going to be like a Titanic situation?
No, let's not go too far.
The joke being that there's an iceberg in Mexico.
They do a thing at night where they have movies under the stars, and they have this big
cool.
video board, and you sit and they give you popcorn and stuff. That's not happening in the rain.
It's for sure not. But best believe you're still going to finagle some popcorn.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I will.
100%.
The best part about this stuff is the food's all free.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a big fat ass. Meanwhile, my wife got the drink package.
Melissa did?
Okay, and here's where you know we're in.
That's a surprise.
Here's where you know we're in for a little bit of an issue over the next 10 days. Because she was reading the fine print, right?
Oh, no.
And she goes, wow, they limit you to 15 a day. Whoa. Okay.
Wow, that's a wow.
Yeah, you know how there's that level of where it's fun to be with someone who's inebriated, but then you get to that next level where it's absolutely unfun to be with someone.
They start regressing towards further to childhood.
Yup. And then by the time you finally get them home, in bed, whatever, it's a face first drop.
Been there.
From the 916, a quick joke. What's a pirate's favorite letter? R. Come on, dude. Should we do Dumb Joke Thursday since I'm going to be gone tomorrow?
Yeah, I think
so
we
too.
should, because I doubt I'm going to get Dumb Joke Friday past day.
Oh, I don't think you will at all. Amy doesn't like dumb jokes. And there's probably a dumb joke there. Sam Amick's going to join us at 8:05. He writes for The Athletic, and according to a couple of our texters, only lives to make up or write about bad things about the Kings. It's just all bad.
To write bad things about the Kings and steal $150 from his neighbor.
Remember the song Hallelujah, the Dallas Mavericks?
I do, of course. It's on my iPod.
Matt George has recorded a response. We're going to hear that at 7:35. Super happy about it. Hey, Dave, can I play it? Can I play it? Fine, dude, I'm leaving tomorrow. Yeah, you can play your song, dude. Kings in Charlotte tonight. And James Harden is stupid. We'll talk about that. Big, fat, hairy getaway Mexico show today. Lock in. So last of unprofessionalism and missing breaks you're going to have for 6 days as I watch Kyle get really pissed. Sports 1140 KHTK.
Pulls back, he'll shoot the 58th three of the game, and he'll knock down the 18th three of the game, and his fourth, 47 points for James Harden. It's just insane.
That PA announcer says, Harden for three. Only old people get this, but he says it exactly like He-Man after he turned into He-Man and said, I have the power.
That's hilarious.
It's the same cadence, I swear to God.
That's amazing.
I'll send you the YouTube clip. Never noticed that because I've never been there. Oh, no, I have, but not with that PA announcer. Why'd we play a James Harden highlight? Because he's ridiculous right now. Go ahead.
That game last night was insane, though.
Yeah, no, that was a really good game. That was a really good finish. My goodness.
The Rockets went up 12 with like 4 minutes to go, and then it bounced between like 9 and 13 and 12. I was kind of like, okay, this is and so I started doing some other stuff. I look up, and James Harden's shooting free throws to make it a 3-point game with like 6 seconds left. Spencer Dinwiddie comes down, hits this ridiculous like running 30-footer to send it to overtime.
Yep.
The Rockets go up 7 with 1:28 left in overtime. James Nunnally, I think is his name. Hits a 3, makes it a 7-point game. 1:28 left. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll turn on a different game.
Sorry, you've had just a bad influence on me. Because I'm like, is that like James Priestley, but just the girl? No, it's not funny, Kyle. That's
really good.
No, it's not. It's terrible.
So James Nunnally hits a 3, and I just turned the game off. And then all of a sudden, a bunch of Rockets fans on my timeline are like, worst loss in a decade. I was like, what?
Yeah.
They lost?
Yeah.
They shot 73 pointers.
And I want to have a conversation about this later. I want to have a talk about James Harden. You know how everybody freaks out that James Harden, because James Harden's Mr. I got fouled. I'm going to shoot 800,000 billion free throws. I was reading something. Kobe Bryant went on the same streak, like a similar streak of 40-point games. He averaged 13.8 free throw attempts a game. Yeah, during this current streak James Harden's on, he's averaging 13.8 free throw attempts per game. They're literally to the decimal the exact same amount of free throw attempts. Okay, so I should have saved this for later, and I want to have a real talk about three-point shooting, where it's going.
Sure.
And without trying to sound like old man screaming at the cloud, I legitimately want to ask, like, is this going to become maybe not the norm, but is this good?
I have takes on this.
I have a stat for you, Kyle, and then we'll move on. So the Rockets, to your point.
Wait, it might be a cold hard fact.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Does this have to do with the Rockets leading by 6 with 30 seconds left? Okay, so they led by 6 with 30 seconds left in regulation. Entering Wednesday, when leading by 6 in the last 30 seconds of regulation over the last 20 seasons, what do you think Houston's record was?
Over the last 20 seasons, when they're up by 6 with
30 seconds left. What do you think their record is? Nope, that's not a number.
Let's see, 20 seasons, that's 80, so it's like 1,600 games. They win half of those, that's 800.
By 6 plus with 30 seconds left, though?
I'm going to say, so that's, you got to chop down a bunch of those. That's a weirdly specific thing. I'm going to say 158-0.
682-0. 682-0 entering yesterday when leading by 6 in the last 30 seconds. By the way, the most wins without a loss by any team in that span over the last 20 years. The Spurs, the Lakers, the Cavs, the Warriors, 682.
That's outrageous.
So you could have probably made some decent money last night betting on the Nets with 30 seconds left. Number 2.
Bogey reaches in and scores. Great feed from Childs. Kings now are getting separation for the first time tonight. They're up by 12 at 92-80. Superb pass there on the part of the rookie Giles for the assist.
Harry Giles.
Harry Giles. Harry Giles.
We should make that a thing.
Oh, I'm in.
I need jingle singers. And
I bet you could go down to like Sac State's choir group.
Been down this road. Here's the problem with that, because in theory it's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. There's a difference between choir singing and jingle singing, number one. Number two, it's not so much the ability to hit the notes, it's the recording ability and the way it's mixed that makes it like, if you ever hear a radio jingle.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, I
totally
hear what
different
you're saying.
thing.
Sure.
But I like the Dallas jingle singers that everybody uses, the jam jingle singers down there. It might be worth. I might just pay to get. Like, I need some Kings player jingles. Like, how great would that be? Harry Giles. Like, how great
awesome.
would just to have that.
Amazing.
Harry Giles and the Sacramento Kings will be in action again tonight versus the Charlotte Hornets. This is a toughie. First game of the road trip. Charlotte hasn't exactly been terrible lately. Charlotte did beat San Antonio in San Antonio, and the Kings just beat Charlotte last week, and it wasn't exactly super easy. Kyle, not being Mr. Anti-Jinx guy and doing my bit here, I'm going to predict the Kings loss tonight. Wouldn't shock me if they won, but this definitely smells like got jet lag a little bit, we're going to lose by, double digits type of thing.
I don't think that's the case.
No?
No.
I hope you're right.
No, because I think this team is super focused and won't let them. What?
This team is super focused. That's like, this team really wants it.
You're right. That wasn't the word I was looking for. That's
Charlotte's
bad. That's bad.
Like
That's
Charlotte's
bad.
like Adam Gase looking
Right.
at the taco meme.
Right. It was an actual taco. It's not a meme.
Sorry.
No, I think this team is super
Resilient?
focused on
Okay.
not getting out to a slow start like that.
Vegas.
Like, I think it feels like every time we look and go, this should be a loss. It's not.
No, you're right. And certainly I'm not guaranteeing a lot. It just seems like it. Vegas has the Hornets favored by 3 points. But that's, of course, as we all know, it's a field goal when you're at home.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Number 3.
Draymond quickly to the front court. Finds a hot hand. It's Curry. Curry off a series of drag screens. Top of the key. 3. Are you kidding me? Anthony Davis right in front of him. But he's Steph Curry. The laws of man don't apply.
Tim Roy, man.
Okay. I just want to get this out of the way, though, okay? I love Tim Roy. We have him on the show. I have nothing but respect for him. Nothing. Love Tim Roy. None of this has to do with Tim Roy, but all I hear is, Steph Curry. Steph Curry.
Way to prove DeMarcus Cousins' point.
We'll talk about that later. Excellent segue. DeMarcus Cousins sat down with Rachel Nichols because Rachel Nichols is now apparently no shade at her. I love her. But my God, how quickly did that happen?
She really kicked the door down on NBA reporting.
She gets them all.
It's amazing.
She's like the Walter Cronkite, Barbara Walters of that.
It's because she does such an awesome job with Tracy McGrady and Scottie Pippen and all the other guys they have on the jump that I think she
gets them all.
She's skyrocketed with her credibility.
She's really good
NBA
too.
People.
Really good.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Sat down with Boogie Cousins that played last night, and DeMarcus said that the Warriors are the most hated team in sports. I want to discuss that, and I'd like to get not an all-time, but today's drive question of the day is a current Mount Hatemore of sports teams, and let's say American sports teams. Don't bring me like La Roma from Liga, whatever.
I can't stand Leverkusen.
Right. Boy, that Sherwood Forest. That's from Robin. I think there's actually I think there's actually a soccer team in like Division III in England. That's Sherwood Forest. I got to look it up. Anyways, what's your Mount Hatemore? What are the most hated teams in sports right now? And do the Warriors qualify there?
Hey, it's time to plan your football playoff party treats. Start at your local Sprouts Farmers Market and Sprouts.com.
Pretty simple for me. Mount Hatemore of sports teams. Lakers, and Lakers. I used your Lakers as one of them, Kyle. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's talk about James Harden, the records that were broken last night, including one set by your Sacramento Kings not that long ago. I do want to ask, is this where basketball is going? Is it okay? Does it entertain you? Do you have an issue with it? I don't know. I'm split on this. It's a drive. Back in a couple. Sports 1140 KHTK.
Hey, it's Kyle Madsen with your top stories on Sports 1140. The Warriors beat the Pelicans 147-140 last night behind 41 points from Steph Curry, including 5 in the final 5 minutes of the third period to help the Warriors erase a 16-point deficit at that point in the game. Anthony Davis had a monster game as well with 30 points, 18 boards, 7 assists, and 3 blocks. Speaking of monster games, James Harden had 58 points last night, but the Rockets couldn't hold on to a 12-point lead with 2.5 minutes left in regulation. And then in overtime, after the Nets came all the way back in regulation, and in overtime, the Nets were down 7 with a minute and a half left and came back to win 145-142. The Rockets shot 73s in that game. The teams combined for 106 three-point attempts, both of those NBA records. And the Sacramento Kings are back in action tonight against the Hornets in Charlotte to kick off a 6-game road trip. It's an early tip-off tonight, so coverage here on Sports 1140 is pushed up. Game night's at 2:30. Kings Live is at 3:30, and tip-off is set for 4 o'clock. It's 6:34. Time now for the International Sportsman's Expo, Thursday through Sunday at Cal Expo. Get tickets at sportsexpos.com. Those are your top stories, and now it's back to the drive on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Call Dave now at 339-1140 and 1-800-920-1140.
Sam Amick will join us at 8:05. Matt George is going to debut his response to the Luka Doncic song they put out by the Ringer. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. I guarantee you, Matt George's Luka Doncic response song and I'm assuming this is from a Sacramento perspective. I can promise you one thing: it's going to be amazing. There's a high probability it's going to be amazing, much like watching, I don't know, putting horses on roller skates and watching them race around a racetrack would be amazing.
You ever see those videos of like a small child riding a skateboard really fast down a hill?
Yes, I have. And
you just know that it's not going to end well?
Uh-huh.
Right now, you talking about this is me watching the small child fly down the hill.
You know, I like that you say that, except it makes me, I have to admit something, that one of my wife's and my favorite things to do when we're bored and just lying in bed or something is, no, not that. We'll go on YouTube and we'll look up, like, we'll search kid fails or kids falling. Go watch kids trying to roller skate. There's compilation videos out there, and all it is kids just biffing it. And we laugh so hard. We also like watching kids, this sounds bad, but kids getting hit with balls. Like, there's compilations out there that will make you cry laughing of like a kid rolling around on the soccer field, then boom, right in the noggin. Or those big rubber balls. And they'll toss
the ones that are bigger than the kid.
It just annihilates them or tosses them 4 feet. Now, we hope that no kids are harmed in these videos.
I always assume when it comes to children that people wouldn't upload the video if the child was like maimed. Because if that's me and my kid gets walloped with a bouncy ball and it shatters their orbital bone.
Yeah.
The last thing I'm concerned about is uploading that video to the internet.
Yeah, I got to tweet it and get some likes. That's what I'm concerned with. Then I got a live video of the kid going to the hospital, all that stuff. You got to make sure the right filters are on. Hey, this is the only text like this I'll get all day on the Jiffy Lube text line. Listen to this, Kyle. This got to be a joke. From the 209. Dave, if I forget, I have a great few days off. Well-deserved. Gonna miss listening to you, but you'll be back before we know it. It's not even like a parent. I checked the text line. And it's not a burner account from me.
It's my burner account.
James Harden's going crazy. And I don't mean that like he's losing his mind. He is on the basketball court. The Rockets did lose last night, but the output of scoring from James Harden, as more than a few analysts have said James Harden is the best one-on-one scorer the NBA has ever seen. I don't know. The hyperbole is a little whatever. I need more time. I need more time on that.
What he's doing right now is insane, though. He's averaged 40 points a game for his last 20. And what he's done in developing that step-back three-pointer has made that drive to the basket where he just puts his head down and dips that right shoulder.
It's pretty
and
impossible.
Gets to the rack. He's amazing, man. And it just so happens right how everything he puts up is going in.
So we read a stat earlier about how the Rockets blew that 30-second lead and blah, blah, blah. Now, again, we have Kyle's cold hard facts coming up at 8:30, so I always have to be careful about this. And if this is cold hard fact, you're probably going to have to get another one because we have to talk about this. This has to do with James Harden. Has to do with the fact in the last two games he scored 115 points.
Yes, this is one of my stats.
We got to talk about it.
Yeah, we absolutely have to. This is an incredible stat.
This is one of the most amazing stats you're ever going to see. Out of those 115 points, not one of them was assisted. Think about that. Not one of his baskets came off an assist.
Because you can't get assists on free throws. Boom. No, that is what the Rockets are doing right now, and I watched them pretty closely last night. They don't have a true center with Clint Capella out, so they started a guy who is 6'8", Gary something. Guy's name is literally Gary Smith.
The awesome, it was Gary something.
This is his last
something,
name.
Gary A.
Something, Gary.
Mm-hmm.
And
Gary Clark.
It is the Gary Clark. It is the epitome of threes or layups. And they take way more threes because they don't have Clint Capella to catch lobs.
Sure.
And it's just guys standing around the perimeter flinging the ball around and trying to find an open shot. It's amazing.
And they're putting their best defender on him usually, at least around that position. He's being double and triple teamed. They're scheming entire defenses to try to stop him. And he's doing this all, literally when I say all, 100% of it is one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
It's just unprecedented. It is an unprecedented role of group of scoring.
It helps a lot. There was a very specific play last night where he drove left and two Nets defenders were right there with him, playing good defense. As soon as he drove, he threw his head back. No contact. He just did that.
Yeah.
And then when he got right around near the free throw line and the guy got close, he throws his head back again. Foul.
Of course.
And that's not his whole game. I don't want it to seem like that's the only way James Harden can score because it's not. But it helps a lot rest-wise and just being able to get to the free throw line when anytime you toss your head backwards, you get a whistle.
21 of 23 from the free throw line last night was James Harden. 21 points from the free throw line. Do we have a stat? We'll take a break. I'm sure there is. You're good at finding this stuff. Can we find points per game leaders for free based on free throws only? They have that, right?
So just free throws made.
Who's leading the league in
made free throws?
I guess I don't know why I was thinking I would like to see something like James Harden's averaging 12.6 points per game from free throws.
Well,
you see what I'm
yeah,
saying?
you could
extrapolate it. I just didn't know if they had a list of
yeah, I can find that.
The points per game, but because that would make my point better than James Harden's taken. But that's fine. Either way, I'd love to get that stat, and I'd love to talk about where the game is going. Where the game is, by the way, it's not going; it's there, and some teams just happen to be ahead of others with all these threes and 145 to 142 scores. Are you having fun? Are you entertained? Is this fun for you? And then we'll talk about DeMarcus Cousins' comments to Rachel Nichols last night. The Warriors, the most hated team in sports. Yeah, we'll discuss that next on The Drive. Sports 1140 KHTK.
The best morning show on KHTK. The Drive continues now.
That's right, voice guy. I think we should have some new voice guy stuff here pretty soon. Maybe when I get back. I know I put in the order. It's been a while since we had him say new stuff.
I'm excited for some of the new stuff you're having him say.
Have I shown you any of it?
Yeah.
Did you have a word?
I have multiple words.
Well, give it to us. Give it to me. Give me something nasty stuff.
Can we say it?
What? Can we say?
No,
you mean what he really says?
Yeah.
When in doubt.
Time to plan your football playoff party treats. I know I can say that. Start at your local Sprouts Farmers Market and Sprouts.com.
Get a lot of people responding to the DeMarcus Cousins' question of the day. He said to Rachel Nichols yesterday, he says the Warriors are the most hated team in sports. And I said, what are your four? And let's make them, real sports. Well, here's somebody who didn't pay attention. From Kenanito. Lakers, Flyers, Patriots, Real Madrid. I said no soccer. And I love soccer. It's a real sport. But European soccer,
I'm very indifferent towards Real Madrid.
Patriots, a lot of Patriots, a lot of Lakers by far at the top.
Yeah.
I would have to say for me, Lakers, Dodgers, Seahawks. I got to think about the fourth. I don't want to just mishmash once.
I think right now, it's Warriors.
Yeah, probably. Well,
see, I can't tell if you actually care that much.
Yeah, it's like
or if you just make fart noises and moan and groan because of me.
I mean, I don't. It's weird. Like I don't hate the Warriors. I don't think. I hate what they've.
Don't.
I hate that they signed Kevin Durant, and I hate that DeMarcus Cousins signed there. But I don't hate Steph Curry.
And you didn't hate the Warriors 10 years ago.
No, of course not.
You were indifferent towards them.
Absolutely. In fact, I've always had kind of a soft spot for them because I'm old enough to where when I was a wee little boy, that was my only chance to watch NBA basketball. Right. We would go watch the Boston Celtics once a year because I loved Larry Bird and Kevin McHale and all those guys. Robert Parrish, Chief, Jerry Seasting, Brad Lowhouse.
And then you jumped on the Kings bandwagon. Wow.
Yes, I did. Oh, I got it.
Noted bandwagon Kings fan.
Carmichael Dave. Lakers, Dodgers,
Seahawks.
Well, let me rephrase. Lakers, Dodgers, Cowboys. Forgot Cowboys. Seahawks.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I can't. A lot of my hate for the Cowboys is really just because most of their fans are cuckoo.
And I think anybody who was around in the late 80s, early 90s, any Niner fan, any self-respecting Niner or Cowboy fan hates the opposite team.
Right. Yeah, you have to. From the 916 on the Jiffy Lube text line, Kyle, per SportsCenter's Instagram, out of Harden's 115 points scored in the last two games, zero have come on assisted baskets.
Whoa! Is that true?
It is. We should have spent our entire last segment on that.
Why didn't we talk about that?
Listen harder. Also, Kyle,
if you weren't listening, wake up earlier.
Yeah, thank you. Can I give you some social media advice before we move on here?
Yeah, please.
When people ask you about DeMarcus Cousins, don't answer.
Smart move.
Yep. Too bad I'm not that smart. I get this question like once a week. It's like, is there a chance DeMarcus Cousins could re-sign here? Dave, what do you think? And I made the mistake of responding and saying never, usually it's no. So I said never say never. I said no forever because I didn't want people.
See, never say never makes it seem like you know something.
And I realized that after I wrote it because most people know I know a couple people there and if he's saying that.
Right.
No, I don't know.
As much as you don't want to be, what you say carries weight.
That's stupid.
As much as you don't want it to.
Literally in my bio, it says not a journalist, probably
wrong.
No,
totally. But you know people. And that's where people are going, he's saying this because he heard something.
No, I didn't. I get, but no.
I promise that's what.
But I don't want. This is a whole thing. Like this and Luka Doncic could just throw it out there. It'll take over the whole show. But
Right.
I don't know if Willie Cauley-Stein's not the future, and they have an opportunity to
Why are you doing this?
sign an all-star.
Don't do it.
Don't you at least take a look?
You're doing it. You're kicking tires.
You know why? You know why this? Can I tell you the number one reason why that wouldn't happen though? Number one reason
Why
the Kings would not re-sign DeMarcus Cousins. I think they would have to find a new TV play-by-play voice.
That's a great point.
Grant's hair would turn redder, like orangish red, like flame, like 80s in the Disney. Except that was blue, I guess. But yeah, it would just. Oh boy, poor Grant.
And we have professional bull riding tickets to give away. 2
Yay.
pairs today. Win tickets to see the toughest sport on dirt, professional bull riding at the Golden One Center on January 26th. That's a horse. By winning, you also qualify to be in the Shark Tank during part of the show.
Yeah.
Get your tickets and more info at khtk.com. 2 pairs to give away. We'll give away 1 in each of the next couple hours. So don't turn that dial.
Don't do it. We got stuff for you. I know I wasn't in the PBR, but I think it was a rodeo. Was it yesterday? There was I think it was a bull rider was killed, but I think it wasn't the PBR. It was like a rodeo or something. You see it pop up every couple of years. It just kind of reminds you, like, this stuff is.
It's real.
It is the real deal, man. These guys are nuts, and I say that with love. They're nuts to do that.
Yeah, this isn't Jim Bob's Whiskey Tavern where they're riding a fake bull. This is...
Wow, shade thrown in Jim Bob's Whiskey Tavern. Okay. Today's question, we'll continue to take your responses at 441140 and on Twitter. Your top 4 most hated teams in American major sports. So there goes hockey. Basically baseball, basketball.
Oh, snap.
You like that? Kings in Charlotte tonight.
By the way, hey, speaking of hockey, the Drive is going to be on site at the NHL All-Star Game. So
Is that right?
Yeah. Well, not the Drive.
Half of it?
I am going to be
Okay.
there.
Are you?
Yeah.
Will you do a series of recorded? Will you do an audio diary
Yeah.
of the sights and smells?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. When is that?
January 26th.
Good for you. Kings in Charlotte tonight. And the phone call heard around the NBA world that happened last night. We'll tell you about that next on the Drive. Sports 1140 KHTK.